brings the newest, fastest, most
At this point, WoW is only competing with itself. World of Warcraft just took whatever made certain games unique and special and ripped it out like a page from a book. This is not a good state to be in. The upcoming expansion, The War Within, showcased some of its hallmark features and updates. One of them is the implementation of the Dragonfly dynamic flight system, which is a flying mechanic based more around momentum and speed compared to its traditional flight systems, onto hundreds of already existing mounts in previous WoW expansions. So now you're going to have over 400 mounts that are going to be able to use this improved system. And if that wasn't enough, they're also adding in new types of mounts and skills to elevate this feature even further. What made Guild Wars 2 truly stand out in the MMO genre was really its mount system. The way in which they operated, how fluid they were, and the purposes they served were just vastly superior to other mounts in the genre. One of the biggest issues with his flying mount, aside from its lack of skills beyond its initial mastery, was that the Griffin could not gain altitude on its own, and you would either have to find a way to start from a high point or use other mounts to supplement the Griffin. But even then, the terrain altitude constantly changes as you move distances, and is barely a fun thing to do on a daily basis. What's worse is that they also compromise the likelihood of improving the Griffin even further when they release the Sky Scale, which served as a way to gain higher ground to some degree. Unfortunately, Guild Wars 2 hasn't really done anything at all to improve upon this feature or even added anything new. And now with this dynamic flight, WoW just took what you're best known for and put a crown to itself. That has to hurt. Like, that really has to hurt inside. Like, it really must stink for Guild Wars 2 players. And the company as well. Here, it's okay, you can lead on my show. And no, it doesn't stop there. Apparently, they're also incorporating an account-wide items, progressions, and collections features called Warband. This is also somewhat present in Guild Wars 2, although it doesn't include progressions in terms of a map or some other aspect of the game, which WoW will improve upon this by giving players the option to reveal previously explored maps completely, which is a no-brainer. I don't know what the point of not being able to see the entire map that you're supposed to be traversing in that you already previously unlocked in another character. As for the account-wide access, Star Wars The Republic is also well known for this with its legacy system, and it seems unfortunately WoW will also be taking the crown on this category as well. You gotta give credit where it's due, and it's really unfortunate I have to keep reminding that WoW even 2024 is only really competing with itself with the amount of updates and content it's constantly putting out. Considering how old and outdated the game is, there is just absolutely no reason why World of Warcraft should still be on the throne, given the fact that its success is largely due to an amalgamation of frequent changes, which led to the game just having an all-around appeal regardless of what it is that you want from a game, and also probably a touch of nostalgia and play. But still, to be fair, it's still pushing out so many changes and rehash concepts that consistently keeps the game on the headline and draws attentions, and that is where many games have failed to deliver, which is evolving over time with its base. Most oftentimes, you'll have a game that has a great start or a concept, but it refuses to undergo changes and updates, and what happens is that it starts to become stale, if not downward, when it stops responding to the necessities of the market and people. Now, there are people who make the argument that WoW is just copying other games, or that this should have been done a while back ago. Listen, none of that matters, because one, WoW didn't really have any competition at the rate that it was putting out contents, regardless of whether you like it or not. So you can yap all you want, but in order to truly demand something from a game or a company, well, it would have to have legitimate rivals that would pressure the company or the game WoW to actually meet those demands in order to get ahead of its competitions or competitors. Second, better late than never, and in fact it's even worse for the genre, because not only does it not have any real competitions, with the exception of maybe Final Fantasy XIV, but with this new expansion, it just took anything special that your little favorite niche MMO had that WoW didn't, and now just suddenly there's nothing distinctive about your favorite MMO. Another thing, to say Warcraft is just copying other games, that can be said for any game that has garnered success. In addition, that in itself isn't an argument, because if that makes the game better and you expand on certain aspects of the gameplay, then by all means do it. There is no issue with that whatsoever. This is also why we will likely not see WoW 2 anytime soon, because there is no reason to. It's far cheaper and also smarter business-wise to be running off this 2-decade-old game, and they're making so much profits off it that there's no reason to be making WoW 2. it'd be too risky and unwarranted given the fact that WoW hasn't even been slightly cornering the market. Unfortunately, this is the way things are. It is what it is. What can we really do about it? Now, as for me, the reasons I haven't really played World of Warcraft are due to a number of reasons. One, the game has gone through so many changes throughout the years that I honestly have no clue what is going on or keep up with the game. Second, the tab targeting system is just not doing it for me. Having came from games that emphasize action combat or hybrid, tab targeting really has no place in my world, especially in modern days, considering how janky and simplistically boring it is in comparison to the prior two. At least that was the case for me. I can't really see myself investing in a game one as big as WoW, with how outdated its engines, gameplay mechanics, combat, and graphics are. I might possibly try the game, maybe, but I don't think I'll be seriously playing it or really putting that much energy into it. Honestly, I highly doubt I'll even play the game to begin with, but who knows, but I doubt it. That's pretty much all I wanted to say regarding this topic, so if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing and catch you next time.